Hello, everyone. This is Pasalis from Eurovisionfun, and today we have the honor to have Luke Black from Serbia with us. Hi,
Hi
Luke.
everyone. Kalimera. Is that the correct thing to say?
That's correct. Yeah, well done. So, Luke, tell us some things about yourself.
Well, I'm a musician from Serbia that has been making music for quite a while. I have kind of kept it all under the radar because I don't write much, but like sometimes when I write, I kind of decide to make it a project and then I release it. I was born in a small hometown in Serbia and spent most of my teenage years and early 20s in Belgrade. I live in London at the moment. And that's where I kind of like started flourishing a bit as a musician. I think that's when the learning process started for me, actually, 10 years into making music. Um, but yeah, I'm quite happy with how everything turned out. I do electronic pop music that just flirts with different styles and genres from project to project.
So, and who are some of your inspirations for the music that you create?
When I started out, when I was really young, I used to listen to loads of like British rock music, British pop rock, industrial, like David Bowie, and then the Beatles. And my kind of main point of inspiration to start playing on the piano and creating songs was John Lennon. And then when I was in my 16, 17, or maybe later, I don't know. I discovered Lady Gaga and kind of like that kind of for me informed me about the DIY approach to music. And I started becoming creative. And I guess from then, my music taste has changed, but I still haven't found anyone who has created such an impact for my creativity as Lady Gaga has with her songs.
Now let's talk about your song that you are trying to represent Serbia with this year. Tell us about this song.
Well, Sama Mrs. Spava is the title of the song, which means I just want to sleep. It is well about sleeping. I kind of spend loads of like the last I don't know 4 and 5 years, especially throughout the pandemic, kind of being very alienated from the world and uh, just like kind of immersed myself into my bed and into the world of technology and video games and anime, and that's kind of like how the song was created. It is basically um, about the lethargic feeling that people um, are feeling, and I'm aware of it throughout the world. It is just kind of like um, an embrace of innocence. I think the sleep is like one of the most innocent places where you can go and feel safe outside of the world.
And it's a song that you wrote yourself, right?
Exactly, yeah. The song was made in 2020, actually. Um, I think it was March or April. Oh yeah, April. It was a very, very nice kind of collaboration that I had. I worked at first with my really old friend who I studied with in England. His name is Majed. He's from Lebanon, currently living in United States. He sent me that beautiful piano, which is the introduction of the song, and we kind of discussed about creating music for Blade Runner. um, or a video game. But you know, like with what was going on in the world and everything, the words and the melodies that I wrote are just kept on coming. And we actually finished the song in like 15 minutes on Zoom, or it might have been Skype or something like that. I don't even know if Zoom exists. But like, yeah, we really finished it quickly. It was like one of those bursts of inspiration that that rarely happens, but when it happens, you kind of learn to cherish it. And later on, I worked on it more with my friend from Common Avogo in London, who I met through mingling throughout the music industry in London. And we kind of elevated the track into a bit more of a rageful, we gave it a rageful spirit, I guess.
And how did you decide to submit this song for Pesma's Evrovisiju?
I have decided, well, one of the people who were like most open to my creativity, especially as a young person singing in English in Serbia, was the band called Zemlja Gruva, which I met back in 2010. And that was my first kind of studio experience. And last year, the main representative from the band, Constructor, sent her song, I guess like accidentally, similarly to me, and I just felt like it was the right time to do that. And also I tweeted jokingly that I'm gonna go, and people were excited, so I felt like, okay, now I need to go. I can't like not go now when everybody's expecting it. But yeah, that was kind of like, it was an intuitive moment.
And how have you listened to any of the other songs of Pesma's Evrovisiju this year? And is there any song in particular that you liked?
Yes, I have listened to some of them, and I was quite surprised with the amount of bangers that Serbia has chosen this year. I was kind of out of the musical culture living in London, wasn't really following the musical culture in Serbia, but I am so happy that there are so many artists that are delving into pop music, and they're doing it in a really great way. There's a guy called Philip whose song I really like. There's a guy called Gypsy that I just kind of like dig both of them. And I mean, everybody's great in their own way. There's ballads as well, which I adore simply. Like I'm gonna listen to this. There's some things that I wouldn't listen to necessarily, but everybody I think brought to the table I guess they're the max of their creativity, and it's really nice, especially this year. Like I enjoyed all of the songs.
It's indeed a very diverse final with lots of different songs. Do you think Constructa had helped with that? Or maybe
100%, yeah. I always thought she was kind of like a genius, even before like this whole thing happened. Like her lyrics have always been very mature and thoughtful, and it was like reading poetry all the time. And I think that before that, I kind of like I've enjoyed Eurovision as a European contest, but I never really enjoyed the Serbian kind of election, because I like, you know, like feeling like there's a place for me as well when I watch something. And I think that she definitely changed the game. I'm glad finally that people in my country recognize both kind of like the same thing that has been going on, but also a bit of more of a conceptual, more modern sound. I really think both of those are great for Eurovision, and you know, I've enjoyed watching Eurovision for the past couple of years because it has been so conceptual, really elaborate with the stage design. I just like love it. It's quite inspiring, I have to say.
So, talking about Eurovision, can you tell me about your favorite Eurovision entries from the past?
Well, uh, I've already said Constructor in order,
Of course.
I mean, Maneskin definitely for me is like something that I quite enjoy. Why I enjoyed Maneskin a lot is because like for a couple of years, even though I like all kinds of music, I wanted to feel that bit of a rock and roll kind of lordy vibes on Eurovision, and also I think like a lot of teenagers, because they were really attracted to the main singer, they just started listening to more rock, and then rock started becoming a part of modern music, which I am all about. Like I love it. So yeah, definitely Maneskin. Um, yeah.
That's great. So we thank you for being with us today, and we wish you best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hope you have a lovely day.
Thank you. And finally, can you send a message to our readers and the viewers of our YouTube channel?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Lots of love from Serbia. I hope I'm looking at the camera. No, now I'm looking at the camera. Lots of love from Serbia. I really hope you enjoy Summer Mrs. Bava, and I hope to see you on Eurovision in Liverpool this year.